We live. Dr. Booker and Mac Show, Diggin In The Crates Hip Hop Podcast. We back in the building. Dr. Mac has returned.
Hey, gotta be here on election day, big dog.
Right. Hey,
gotta be here on election
Dr.
day.
Mac has returned. He's back in the building, you guys, and I'm gonna nudge him a little bit to give us a little gems of wisdom because we got so much to talk about, man. And I can just tell you, man, we missed you, man. I missed you thoroughly, man.
Man, appreciate that. Definitely miss being here, for sure. Definitely miss being here.
You know, and the interns, been asking about you. I let them know that, praying for your mother and your father.
Appreciate that, man.
And I've, been keeping up with you, so I hope they're, God is showing them grace and, because it's tough right now, man.
It is tough, man.
And I know I call you a lot, but it's I consider you a brother.
No doubt, man. No doubt, absolutely.
And I know I call you a lot. Max always like you wasn't to call me back, but especially we talked the other day, and I just basically told you, hey Mac, you gotta take some time to yourself. So let us know what's going on. How's the family, and what you've been up to. And again, I know it's a difficult time, but there's always joy when you can wake up and see the sun shining.
No doubt, man. There's been a lot happening in the month of October, man. As you know, both of my parents caught coronavirus.
Right.
They were both hospitalized, so that was very tough going through that and not knowing what the outcome is going to be, you know. So for those who don't believe that corona is real, like, wake up. Like, hey, man, there's people out here really hurting and some people dying from it. I've been fortunate that both of them have come out the hospital and are doing better. My stepmom is still in stages of recovery from hers. Dad is doing a lot better. He's actually out and about now.
Okay.
But, hey, with corona and all the stuff with the elections, man, hey, this is a different time that we living in, man.
Yeah, but Mac, we have so much has went on, man. But the good thing is, man, Mac, do you realize, man, we've been on the air for a year already?
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, Certainly hoping many more years to come. Because I enjoy doing this, talking about all things hip hop and beyond. You know, because we cover a lot of things on this show.
We was talking, what, maybe 2016, 2018.
At the radio station?
About doing this. And look where we at, Mac.
Yep.
And it's been a journey, but it's been a good journey.
For sure.
We talk about hip hop, we talk about politics, we talk about social issues. And I'd have to say, man, even though 2020 has been rough, for us, it's been pretty good.
Hey, we've been prosperous in 2020 for sure. We've done a lot in spite of everything that's going on.
And speaking of the anniversary, man, we had an event, All Things Hip Hop, across the street at the Codas building in the back.
Hey, man, big shout out to you for putting that together, man. I mean, it looked good. I watched the video. I was hearing all of the artists that you had performing and stuff. I was like, this is good. I was like, Hooker did his thing on this.
When we started out, people were funneling in and people showed up for sound check. We had a DJ there. You had like 5 or 6 vendors. We had some soul food.
Kids?
Yeah, we had a few kids there. Kids showed up. And Justin Allen, who's a city councilman, man, he came out there and,
big shout out to the city councilman for attending one of our events. Good stuff.
I did my due diligence by letting him speak to the audience. And it was interesting. To sum it up, man, that 1 year anniversary, it was dope, man. And look,
nice.
As soon as we got ready to tear down, artists was like, "Yo, man, I need to get on your show." So people are actually, they're actually watching.
Okay.
And a lot of people, "Yo, man, where your co-host at?" Like, he in hibernation, but not the COVID. But I said, because people they miss our, the way we balance each other out. And so...
but Hook, the beautiful thing is, this is what we talked about several years ago, like, we want to have a space where new upcoming artists can come and show their talents without having to go through traditional radio shows in order to get played, which can be very hard to do. And we still want them to have a medium to be able to do that. So
and I think we've provided that, but they're starting to pick up the business aspect. And I think what we're doing here is they're gonna. Sometimes you measure your success by other things that are around you.
Correct.
And the more professional we have been, I think that's gonna, artists start coming our way, because, I mean, think about it. We had eight artists, three producers. So you can just imagine when we do something again when this COVID clears. You can imagine just how many people are gonna want to be on the lineup.
Absolutely. And we can't go today without, even from the beginning, talking about this election, not taking a long time on it, but just want to make sure we tell people today's the last day. Get out and vote. Make your vote count. If you don't like how things are in our nation, you don't like how things are in your state, in your city, get out there and vote. It's important. Have people who died so that we can have the right to vote. Man.
So please get out and vote. Whoever you vote for, but understand why you vote. And I'm all about that. And again, I know there's racial issues, but I'm all about the people. And so again, Diggin In The Crates Hip Hop Podcast. Get out and vote. On another note, we got to bring this up on current news. Currently, police officers and sheriff's deputies in Graham, North Carolina deployed chemical spray and arrested 8 people at a march and a rally on Saturday that were intended to honor George Floyd. George Floyd's family members flew in, and the response was by the Reverend Jumright. He said, "I'm truly disturbed by the fact that people are charged to protect and serve sprayed a chemical agent on marchers who were who were marching to the poll." And this was quoted by Reverend Gregory B. Drumright, an organizer of the event, who was among those arrested. So, I mean, Mac, did you happen to see that or get any whiffs of what was
I didn't know anything about it until you sent me the story, and it's sad. That's where we are in this country, man. It really is sad that a place where you're supposed to be able to protest freely, that you're not able to do that, and that the people who are supposed to protect you, as he said, are involved in that. So, yeah, truly unfortunate. Trump has said, it seems like he brings up Abraham Lincoln quite a bit, right? When it comes to talking about things that he believes he's done for African American people. That's definitely interesting, because I don't see what it is that he's saying. I certainly see what he doesn't say, and
he says
the refusal to make a
refusal to show his taxes
statement with regard to denouncing things until he's put under pressure to make that announcement.
White supremacists and white supremacists and right Proud Boys.
Stand back and stand by.
It certainly speaks volumes to me with regard to where his mindset is and what philosophy he abides by, and that lets me know what side you on. So
he's on the wrong side of the fence, but again, I want to prepay my taxes, Mac. I want to know how I can do that, because Trump pays his taxes. I mean,
you want to write off that haircut like
I want to write off that haircut, and I want to have that fly on my head like Mike Pence. But
those memes were crazy.
That was crazy, man. They was crazy, and we're gonna slide on down to some hip hop news. Brought to you by Diggin In The Crates.
This good stuff.
Again, this is the Abstract and the Dragon. This is T.I. versus the Abstract and the Dragon. And more great news. We talk about North Carolina hip hop. Wow. Rhapsody Eve was released back in August. The Grammy released its nominees for the 2020 awards, right?
Right.
And a ceremony on Wednesday morning, and it featured a number of snubs, one which was Rhapsody. She got snubbed, man.
I don't care what nobody say right now, Rhapsody is the hottest female rapper in the game.
Yes, Rhapsody, if you watch it,
I see.
yes.
Hey, have you heard 12 Problems?
Yeah.
I had it on repeat one day for about an hour. Just listen to it over and over again. Man, I mean, I love the style, the content, like all of it. And that's just one of the songs. Like, she been doing this for a while, man. Yeah.
I'm proud of Rhapsody because, look, Mac, this is the people she beat out for Lyricist of the Year. And if you think this is debatable,
okay,
you know how we go.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear how we go.
Let's hear it.
Big Sean, that's the baby, your boy, J. Cole, Drake, and Megan Thee Stallion. That's the list of best lyricists of the year. So I know you're a J. Cole fan. Where you at, Mac? I mean,
well, I am a huge Cole fan for sure.
Well,
I guess when I think about the music that has been released by Cole, or things that he's been, featured on in 2020 versus what she's done, I think she's done a better job at it. It doesn't mean that I think she's a better lyricist than Cole.
You heard it first. Max said that.
That's just my thoughts on it. I'm saying Rhapsody's killing the game in 2020, man.
But I know you're a big J. Cole fan.
I am a Cole fan, man. I am. Now we talking about another year, or we're talking about the totality of their work. Then we have a different conversation.
So I want you to go on record right now for our listeners that
she deserved that.
Okay, I just want to know that. So if we talk about this later, remember you said that, right?
She deserved to win.
Okay. Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, Megan was killing it this year, though.
She was?
Yes, Megan was killing it this year, for sure.
Okay, move on.
The women were definitely doing their thing this year.
Okay. Now, where we finna go now?
All right, where we headed at now?
We look, Mac. I'm gonna put it to you like this: Return of the Dragon and the Beast. Busta's back, Mac.
I think you influenced.
No, I ain't influenced nobody, Mac. Hey, look. Busta is back. I mean, this is the Busta that was with Leaders of the New School. Yeah, I mean, unless you disagree.
I mean, Busta stuff is hot. It's hot. I like it. I mean, I listened to Extinction Level 2. It was hot.
But Verzuz co-creators Swiss Beats and Timbaland announced a second session of Verzuz was on the way earlier this month, and it looks like Busta Rhymes is in the first line. While speaking to Fat Joe on Instagram, which I watched it on the live show, also Bus called out T.I. to go ahead to a head-to-head in the next battle. So
I'm begging you to step in the ring with me. I'ma bust your ass. And let me tell you.
I mean, you being called out by a legend. I mean, what do you do, Matt? What would you do if you being called out by a legend like that?
I would have handled it very similar to what T.I. did.
Really?
I respect you, King. I love your music. You're a legend in this game. But nah, I'm not battling you. It's a different era.
Why not?
I had no issue with how T.I. handled it.
But Mac is music, though.
It is music, but the Verzuz battle, let's just keep it real. Like, they have matched people who come from similar eras, who have maybe similar audiences, and that one to me just didn't necessarily match up. I would like to see Busta against somebody else.
Yeah, but you being called out by a legend, though, Mac. It's just like, I keep saying this. I mean, I keep trying to talk. I don't really want to go this, but I'm still trying to find the GOAT, Mac.
Yeah, if LL call out Kendrick Lamar, do we want to see that?
Why not?
I don't want to see that.
So Mac, it's not music.
I don't want to see that.
It's not music.
It's music. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
Okay, tell me why you don't want to see it.
Because the age, like T.I. was explaining, the age gap, the eras are so different. Like Busta was a early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s artist. I mean, now of course, he dropped something recently that's blazing, so I'm not trying to limit him to just that time. But in the early 90s, nobody even know who T.I. was. Like, nobody knew about T.I. until the early 2000s.
So we just gonna go with popularity? Is that what it is?
No, we just saying that hip hop music has changed. It's almost like every 10 years you get a different style of hip hop music. So what you saw in the early 80s sounded different than what you saw in the 90s, which sounded different than what you saw in the early 2000s and what you saw from 2010 to 2020. Came on the scene, this is like what? What year was that? 1991.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But meanwhile, Busta Rhymes exploded onto the scene in 1991 with his guest verses on Tribe Called Quest Scenario.
As I combine all the juice from the mind.
Now the scenario was
hot.
he was the last one. He was the last one to go. The first up the bat was $5. Last one was to go was.
But Busta was out. Leaders of the New School was out before Scenario came out, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So Scenario Sing at the time, Busta was a member of the group Leaders of the New School.
I think they kicked him out of the group too.
Yeah, I know you and you know me. It's a sob story. It's
Foolish move, but yeah, they kicked him out of the group. 2 years later, he dropped his own album, and the rest is history.
Okay, but again, if you look at T.I. and Busta Rhymes, I like both of them, Mac. So
I do like both.
Yeah.
I can tell you like Busta more, which is cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I have to go on record. I'm gonna have to go on record, Mac. You done bust me down. I wouldn't want to see the Versus battle either.
See, you went through all of that, and now you gonna say
I wouldn't want to see it.
either.
One, because their delivery, their styles is totally different. And I do realize that the popularity T.I. would win just based because most younger folks can resonate with T.I. But it's just it's a difference of old versus new. You had an old attitude and you had a new attitude. So I wouldn't want to see it. It wouldn't be very fun.
Yeah.
It would just be, it'd be a waste of time. But moving on, let's talk about some of their videos. I'm Serious, released by T.I. October 9th. Trap Music released August 19th on the 2003 label Grand Hustle. Some of his, this is just his discography.
Trap Music was dope.
Yeah. Urban Legend, his album released November 30th. The King released March 28th, 2006 on the Grand Hustle. Some of his videos, You Don't Know About Me.
You Don't Know Me.
You Don't Know Me.
Yeah, You Don't Know Me was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got Rubber Band Man. That was a classic.
Rubber Band Man.
Yeah, and the video where he was dissing your boy, what's up, what's happening, he was dissing Shorty Low. He was walking down the street.
Shorty Low said he wasn't from West Side Bankhead.
He said, but T.I. said, I'm the king. That was a dope video.
Well, when you start thinking about King stuff, like you never even heard the word trap music till T.I. dropped it.
Really?
Yeah, and now everybody says it.
Yeah,
It's like nobody was saying that before T.I.
Man, we ought to ride down there, go to that trap museum, man. When COVID
I do want to check out the trap museum.
Yeah, maybe they'll let us do a podcast. Now, switching to Busta Rhymes discography, I'm gonna have to bring out the woodworks on this one.
All right.
Coming release March 26, 1996, Flip Mode, Electra. When the Disaster Strike released September 28, 1997, label Flip Mode. ELE, Extinction Level, Event, The Final Word, Flip Mode Electra. Back on My BS release May 19, 2009, Flip Mode Universal. What his videos. Dangerous. This is dangerous. That was tight. You gonna drink? What you think about the video?
Hey man, I'm letting you get through. Through it.
Busta Rhymes, Janet Jackson. What's it gonna be? Busta Rhymes. I'm on my New York.
Got the world following.
Sampled by Diamond D.
Okay.
So, what do you think about them videos? Any one of them stay out to you, or is it still too much of a generational gap?
I mean, I grew up with the same generation that Busta, so I mean, I certainly identify with what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See is my favorite video.
Yeah.
From Busta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But my favorite videos, my ultimate is the Scenario, because
Scenario.
He tore it up. I mean,
I don't even remember that video. I remember the song. I don't remember the video.
What, the Scenario?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Scenario. What's the Scenario?
And he put Q-Tip on this recent album too. I thought that was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got some very good vocals on there from Mr. Farrakhan. I mean, it's Louis Farrakhan. It's kind of catchy.
Yeah.
Distinction.
Yeah.
I mean, he's back up on his BS. And again, this is Diggin In The Crates hip hop podcast, the Hooker and Mac show. Before we go, we were glad to have Dr. Mack. He's in health. His family is good. Hope everybody's family is good. Again, we had a wonderful event. We had a plethora of help. We had to, Yasmin had to switch gears and get us a place, like in 5 minutes. So we owe a lot of gratitude to her.
Absolutely.
She's been doing wonderful things as well as the interns. So Mac, take us out with a words of wisdom, man. Drop them J. Cole bars on us.
Oh, no, I have no J. Cole bars, But I guess in thinking about what we're dealing with our political climate today and the great divide that we have, the first word that comes to mind is civility.
Okay, civility. Okay.
Yeah, because even when we can have our differences, whether we have different ideological positions on things or not, we still should be able to move and agree and disagree with a certain amount of civility. And I certainly think that's not where we are as a nation, and I hope that we can get back to that. It's okay that we can disagree, but there should be a way that we go about doing that. When we start threatening people's lives and actually doing things like people who have been killed via the protests, or just because you want a particular candidate to win versus somebody else, like, that's not the way that we need to go, man. So
right.
let's see if we can practice more of that.
Okay, that's how you're going out? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So civility, which is a very good word. That's a book. But I would agree with you, Mac. I mean, when you start attacking people for their views, their views are their views, but when you go over and beyond,
we try to take life.
Civility is one thing that connects everybody together. And always, what we stress on Diggin In The Crates is music for everyone. And remember, every beat on a record buys jazz, hip hop, rock and roll, gospel, and again, music is for the people. Music moves us, and we're going to tune in, check us on Instagram, check us on Facebook. Our Instagram and Facebook will be located at the bottom. So we'll see you in another
no doubt
time period. And yes, my boy is back on the scene. We're glad to have you here.
Yeah, man.
Dr.
You put my shirt on today for us, man.
Yeah, and I put my shirt on. Again, All Lives Matter. You see the album cover.
Midnight Marauder.
Midnight Marauder. So again, be safe, stay woke, and Diggin In The Crates Hip Hop Podcast. I am the Hip Hop Wizard and my co-host,
Dr. Mac.
Peace out, and we'll see you.
Happy Friday.